Longstreet here with another edition of the Longstreet Beat, and I'm pleased to have with me today PRLA 2015 Chairman Jeff Cohen. Hey Jeff, it's great to have you here in Harrisburg.
Hey John, great to be here. Glad to be in Harrisburg. It's a nice cold Tuesday, February day.
Coldest day on record since 1884 in Harrisburg, I heard this morning, my wife told me.
Wow, I guess we picked a good time to have a meeting, didn't we?
Really? But great turnout, by the way. I think it was the best turnout we've had in an executive committee meeting in a long time yesterday.
It was a great turnout. It was a good meeting. It's a shame I wasn't smart enough as board chair to have it done in Sarasota, though, really.
Yeah, well, our budget won't allow
Probably
that.
not. No, I'd probably a little tougher on that,
Yeah.
You're right. So
Jeff, before we get some of your thoughts about PRLA and what we're headed into this year, tell me a little bit about what you do in real life, Smallman Street Deli and Weiss Provision.
Well, I'll give you the 10-cent story. It's quick. I bought Weiss Provision back in 1995. It was a local food purveyor, which basically was a corned beef and roast beef manufacturer of cold cuts. And didn't know much about the business, but I was in the shoe business before and got out of the business and moved back to Pittsburgh and found this business. And my rationale was simple. People had to eat, so I figured I'll try it, and that's what really happened. And 20 years later, we're still in business. My initial business was on the south side of Pittsburgh, which is about 5 minutes from downtown, and ended up buying a building in the Strip District, which is kind of the foodie area for back in the 60s and 70s and 80s in the Strip. I bought a building back there in '98 and moved into the new building in 2000. And there was an empty bridal, old store, bridal store that was there for like 35 years, and decided to make it a deli. Yeah. And we opened up in November of 2000. And I figured if it didn't work, the employees would have a great place to eat lunch. Yeah, wow. And ended up working. And so opened up our second store in September of 2005 in Squirrel Hill, and so have the wholesale company and the two delis.
In the wholesale side, as I understand it, you provide premium meats to some of the better restaurants and hotels in Pittsburgh.
Right, we're a quality meat purveyor. We sell restaurants and country clubs, some hotels, some of the small delis, restaurants and bars. And I would say premium because we try to buy consistently the same product. A lot of people in the industry they'll buy a lot of different brands. We buy from a small packer out of Chicago. Pretty much hand selected for us on a weekly basis, and we almost look at everything we cut. So we're on top of most of our business, and we try just to service our customers. We try to make it, we actually care about what we send them, so their customers are happy, and it's worked out pretty good in general.
Well, I was fortunate enough to have one of your steaks at the Carlton, and I can attest for the fact that it was terrific. That's great. Now, I think you told me you got involved in the PRLA very soon after you got into the restaurant business. Tell me about how you got involved.
Well, I did. There was a annual installation or holiday party, I guess about a month and a half after I bought the company, and went to that event, and I really didn't know anybody, and hadn't done much business in the meantime, just buying the company. And I ended up sitting down with Kevin Joyce from the Carlton at the same table. And it's a funny story because I was in the shoe business, and the Carlton to me at that time was a premier big time restaurant. I'm thinking, geez, this guy is a big time player. And I look at his shoes and I say, Kevin, I don't think those shoes are really that nice for a guy that's a high end premium restaurant owner. And we just became friendly. Yeah. And I actually got him a couple pair of shoes that I took down to this restaurant about like 2 or 3 weeks later. And he says, well, you want to sell meat or you want to sell shoes? I said, I want to make sure your shoes are right. And so
over this time, so you got involved in the PRLA very early because of a chance meeting with Kevin Joyce, who needed better shoes than he was wearing at the time. And so I don't know what you expected when you got involved in the organization then, but over the years you've been involved, how has the experience with PRLA exceeded those original expectations?
I'm not really knowing, what to expect, being in some other trade organizations, within the shoe business, you kind of meet people and you network. And it really exceeded expectations because I met so many good people. And, the thing about the association is over time, they really become your friends. Yeah. I think the business part of it is almost secondary. And it's interesting because you deal with people that you do business with, that you don't do business with. You have people in the association that you compete with, but you're all kind of one family. Mm-hmm. And I think that the secret to our success is we're all very passionate about what we want to accomplish for our industry. Mm-hmm. And most of the key players that give their time and effort and money on the local level, the Western chapter, and also on the state level, is that these people really care. And we've had some major issues, in Allegheny County especially. I mean, we had a major drink tax fight, and which I think brought a lot of new people on, which was really good. I mean, like John Graff, who is our current vice chair, I mean, he never would have been even involved if the drink tax had not materialized. So, I mean, we've met some really good people, throughout the years. And the key, I think, is that we all have the same goal, is to make our industry better. Mm-hmm. And as you can see yesterday at our meeting, we had a nice turnout from the Western chapter, which, they're very committed people. Mm-hmm. I mean, they really are. And plus, they're all good. I mean, they're all just nice people.
Right.
And they are, good-hearted.
Yeah, there's a lot of people giving a lot of time to the organization. You give a lot of time. You almost have made this a second job, which not everybody that leads a trade organization does. It's a volunteer. Why is that so important to you?
I think it's important, when you do something, you do it right. And I've always felt if you're going to, end up being in charge or being part of something, you do it the best of your ability, and you try to make a difference. And I always believe that everything you do is people can make a difference, no matter if it's big or small. And I think we're at a critical time within our industry, on the national level, on the local levels, and I think everything's being squeezed. And I think for the next generation, of guys like myself and other leaders that don't really step up enough to secure our future, it'll be tougher for the next generation. And plus I enjoy working with you. I mean, we have a great relationship. I think I'm sure there's some days you'd rather me lose your phone number, but I think yeah, sure. But I mean, it's good because you can have an honest relationship with people you work with, and you're holding nothing back. It makes the organization so much stronger. Mm-hmm. And you look at things from the standpoint that what's the best possible outcome for what we're trying to accomplish. And it's never about one individual person or one individual restaurant or one cause. It's about the organization as a whole. And you've been a strong leader in this short period of time, which has given, especially me, a lot of new energy in wanting to help make this organization better.
Well, likewise. And openness and honesty, I know, is key to you, and it should be to everyone in the organization. It really makes things work better.
Well, and in this particular instance, I mean, the effort the staff is putting into our success is just tremendous. And I think it's because that you're making them an opportunity to think for themselves, to grow, to make some mistakes, to reach out. And I mean, that's important. The only way you ever learn is by doing things sometimes that might not work. And I think their creativity has been a key plus for the success of our organization.
We have a great team here, and there's no question that with the right kind of freedom to do the things they do well, they take great care of our members, and I love that about this. Well, last thing before we leave today, you've been a leader in so many ways, both in business and in this association, other associations, City of Pittsburgh. Anytime we need to get in touch with anybody in Pittsburgh, you pick up the phone, they answer it. What would be one tip you would give to our viewers about leadership?
Well, I think the key is just treating people fairly and being honest. Treat people the way you want to treat people, the way you want to be treated yourself. And I think that when you compromise and you work with people and you let them know it's not just about you, it's about them, to me it's all about winning. And when you win, it has to be 50-50. It can never be an odd number where, well, I'm getting 70 and you're getting 30, you're getting 30 and I'm getting 70, because someone loses. So I think when you go into any situation and you portray the trust and integrity with someone that, hey, this is about us. It's not just about me and not just about you or your organization. It's about us winning together. I think people feel comfortable and they trust you, and I think they respect what you say. And that's been my success, truthfully, in my life.
Well, there you have it from the Pennsylvania Restaurant and Lodging Association 2015 Chairman Jeff Cohen. Treat others right, put other people first, and always strive for a win-win 50-50 outcome, and you can be successful. Jeff, thanks for being with us
John,
today.
thank you for having me.
Longstreet Beat. And thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.